Om, Om, Om. We live in a world of diversity. Everyone is seeking happiness and peace. But peace is a divine attribute. It is a quality of the soul. It cannot remain with greedy persons. It fills a pure heart. It deserts the lustful. It runs away from the selfish people. It is an ornament of the sage. Peace is a state of quiet. It is freedom from disturbance, anxieties, agitations, riot, or violence. It is harmony, silence, calm, repose, rest. It is an absence of war, rows, arguments of any kind. This is really man's disgrace. Peace is the happy, natural state of man. It is his birthright, and war is his disgrace. Everybody wants peace and is clamouring for peace. But peace does not come easily. Even if it comes, it does not last for a long time. Peace is not in the heart of a carnal man. Peace is not in the hearts of ministers, advocates, dictators, businessmen, kings, emperors. Peace is in the hearts of yogis, sages, saints, and spiritual men. It is in the hearts of those that are desireless, who have control of their senses and the mind. Greed, lust, jealousy, anger, envy, pride, egoism are the enemies of peace. Slay these enemies with the sword of dispassion, discrimination, non-attachment, and you will enjoy perpetual peace. There is no doubt about this. Peace is not in money, estates, bungalows, and possessions. Peace does not dwell in outward things, but within the soul. Money cannot give you peace. You can purchase many things, but you cannot purchase peace. Don't ever think you can. You can buy soft beds, but you cannot buy sleep. You can buy good food, but you cannot buy good appetite. You can buy good tonics, but you cannot buy good health. You can buy good books, but you cannot buy wisdom. Withdraw yourself from external objects. Meditate and rest in your soul. You will realize everlasting peace now. Nothing can bring you peace but yourself. Nothing can bring you peace but victory over your lower self. Triumph over your senses and mind, desires and cravings. If you have no peace within yourself, it is vain to seek it in external objects and outside sources. Perfect security and full peace cannot be had in this world, because this is a relative plane. All objects are conditioned in time, space, and causation. They are perishable. Where then can you look for full security and perfect peace? You can find this in the immortal self. He is an embodiment of peace. He is beyond time, space, and causation. Real, deeper peace is independent of external conditions. Real abiding peace is stupendous stillness of the immortal soul within. If you can rest in this ocean of peace, all the usual noises of the world can hardly affect you. If you enter the silence or the wonderful calm of divine peace by stilling the bubbling mind and restraining the thoughts and withdrawing the outgoing senses, all disturbing noises will die away. Be assured of this. You practice withdrawing your mind and your senses from the objective world, and you see if this isn't true. Motor cars may roll on the streets. Spirits may shout at the pitch of their voices. Railway trains may run in front of your house. Several mills may be working in your neighbourhood, and yet all these noises will not disturb you even a bit. Peace is the most covetable possession on earth. It is the greatest treasure in all the universe. Peace is the most important an indispensable factor for all growth and development. It is in the tranquility and quiet of the night that the seed slowly sprouts from under the soil. The bud opens in the depth of the most silent eyes. So also, in a state of peace and love, people evolve, grow in their distinctive culture, and develop perfect civilization. In peace and calmness, spiritual evolution is also facilitated. The peace that prevails today is the peace of fear. It is the peace of preparation. Ignoring the sincere advice of men of wisdom, the great nations of the world are intent upon demonstrating their destructive strength. That way lies war, not peace. No politicalism can ever solve the problem and bring about peace. All isms are only the different hoods of the monster of selfishness and egoism. When autocratic monarchs ruled over the nations, people thought that democracy would shower peace, plenty, and prosperity upon the earth. They dethroned the kings. Democracy also failed to yield the fruit of peace. Some people tried socialism, communism, so many isms. Each man thought that his solution alone was the best for the world, and each new ism created only more problems, more quarrels. Many are working today for the promotion of world peace. Without having peace in themselves, then how can they achieve this? For if a man has no peace within himself, how can he bring peace to others? The loud propaganda, big talk, and lectures cause more confusion, conflict, and discord. All over the world, great conferences are held for bringing about universal peace, universal brotherhood, and universal religion. It is the vanity of man that goes him to reform society without first reforming himself. Vanity rules the world. When two vain people meet, there is friction and quarrel. So also in the case of social reform. Self-styled enlightened men start interfering with the customs and manners of people in an effort to civilize them. The people lost their own morals, and the reformers could not offer new, sound ones. Masses of people drifted away into chaos. How can blind men lead other blind men? You must first acquire the supreme knowledge of the reality. Then and then alone can you lead another to the right path, the path of peace. So each man forms his own destiny. He's either going the way of the flesh, the blind leading the blind, or he's travelling the path of perfect peace. You can elevate others only if you have elevated yourself. This world can be saved only by those who have already saved themselves. A prisoner cannot liberate other prisoners. One realized sage can do more for the promotion of peace than 1,000 missionaries preaching and disputing day and day out. Reform yourself. Society will reform itself. Get worldliness out of your heart. The world will take care of itself. Remove the world out of your mind. This world will be peaceful then. That is the only solution. This is not pessimism. This is glorious optimism. This is not escapism. It is the only way to face the situation. If each man tries to work out his own salvation, there will be nobody to create the problems. If each man strives heart and soul to practice religion, to do sadhana, to attain God-realization, he will have very little inclination and very little time to create quarrels. Automatically there will be peace on earth. A Christian thinks there will be peace if all people embrace Christianity. A Muslim thinks there will be peace if all people embrace Islam. This is an erroneous nation. Why do people in the world fight? Why do Catholics and Protestants all fight? Why do brothers fight amongst themselves? The heart must be changed, that is why. There must be purity of heart and mind. Greed and selfishness must perish. Then alone will you have peace in this world. People merely talk about religion. They are not interested in practicing it, in living it. If Christians lived by the Sermon of the Mount, if the Buddhists followed the Noble Eightfold Path, if the Muslims truly followed the teachings of the Prophet, and the Hindus shaped their life in accordance with the teachings of the Lord, of saints and sages, there will be peace everywhere. Peace, to be lasting and constructive, must be achieved through God. There can be no peace without God. God is peace. Root yourself in peace for God. Now you are fit to radiate perfect peace. Now the seeker of God is the seeker of silence. I have often said to you, dear chillers, be silent. Don't get involved with idle talks and small talks. Be silent. God or Brahman is supreme silence. Soul is silence. Peace is silence. Atma is silence. Silence is the language of Brahman. Silence is the language of the heart. Silence is the language of the sage. Silence is immense strength. Silence is great eloquence. Silence is God. Silence is the substratum of this body, mind, prana, and senses. Silence is the background for this sense universe. Silence is power. Silence is a living force. Silence is the only reality. The peace that passeth all understanding is silence. The goal of your life is silence. The aim of life is silence. The purpose of your existence is silence. Behind all noises and sounds is silence, the innermost soul. Silence is our real name. Silence is intuitive experience. Silence helps the intuitional self to express itself. To go into silence is to become one with God. The message of the desert is silence. The message of great mountains is silence. There is no healing balm better than silence. For all people who have a wounded heart from failures, disappointments, and losses, there is no soothing panacea better than silence for those who have wounded nerves from the turmoil of life, from friction, rupture, frequent domestic quarrels. Be silent. In deep sleep, you are close to that stupendous silence, but there is the veil of ignorance. The silence that you enjoy during deep sleep and the silence that you experience at dead of night give the clue to the existence of that ocean of silence, or Brahman or the Absolute. In common parlance, to sit quiet without talking to anybody is silence. If your friend does not write to you for a long time, you will say, my friend is keeping icy silence. I don't know why. If anybody does not talk in a big lecture hall for some time, when there is a thrilling lecture, you say, there was a pin-drop silence last evening when the philosopher delivered a lecture. When the boys make much noise in the class, the teacher said to the boys, silence, please. When you come across two sadhus, one sadhu tells the other sadhu is a mani. He is my friend. He is observing the vow of silence for the last 6 years. This is all physical silence. If you do not allow your eyes to see objects, and if you withdraw them from objects through practice of patrihara, this is silence of that particular sense, the eye. If you do not allow the ears to hear any sound, it is silence of that particular sense. If you observe complete fast on certain days without taking even a drop of water, it is silence of the sense of tongue. If you do not perform any work, and if you sit in Padmasan for 3 hours, it is silence of the feet and hands. What is really wanted is silence of the bubbling mind. You can observe vow of silence, but the mind will be building images. Impressions will be cropping up. Imagination, reasoning, reflection, and various other functionings of the mind will be going on continuously. How can you have real peace or silence now? Intellect should cease functioning. The inner astral sense should be at perfect rest. All the waves of the mind should completely subside. The mind should rest in the ocean of silence or Brahman. Then only you can enjoy real lasting peace. Shave your mind. Shave your mind. Shave your mind of all the bubbling thoughts. Mana means a vow of silence. There are different kinds of mana. The control of speech is mana. If you keep quiet, it is mana. The complete cessation of one's physical actions is mana. In mana, you should not nod your head. Do not nod your head. Dear chillers, are you still doing that? Nodding your head? You should not show any signs. You should not write anything on a paper or slate to express your ideas. In mana, the mental modifications should be completely destroyed. Equality of vision overall. The silence of the mind, with the idea that all are no other than Brahman, is mana. The expurgation from the mind of all doubts, after realizing firmly the illusory character of the world, is mana. The settled conclusion that the universe is no other than all full Brahman is mana. Brahman is called Mahamana because he is an embodiment of silence. Mahamana is true mana. Mana is only a help in the attainment of Mahamana. Mana of the mind is far superior to mana of the speech. The organ of speech is a strong weapon of maya to delude the souls and to distract the mind. Talkative people cannot enjoy peace of mind. You know how I was always telling you to be silent? Talkative people cannot enjoy peace of mind. Maybe you're putting it all into practice now. Maybe you're finding the truths of what I have always told you. Miscellaneous talking is a very bad habit. It distracts the mind. It keeps the mind always outgoing and makes a man unspiritual. Quarrels, disputes occur through the play or mischief of this turbulent sense. There's a sword in the tongue. Words are like arrows. They injure the feelings of others. Ladies of the house are very talkative. They always create some kind of noise in the house. Do not allow anything to come out from the mind through the sense of speech. Observe mana. This will help you. Now you have shut out a big source of disturbance. If the sense is checked, the eyes and ears also can come easily under control. If you control the sense of speech, you have already controlled half of the mind. Energy is wasted in idle talking and gossiping. Well, people do not realize this. Mana conserves energy, and you can turn out more mental and physical work. You can do a lot of meditation. It has a marvelous soothing influence on the brain and nerves. By the practice of silence, the energy of speech is slowly transmuted or sublimated into spiritual energy. Silence develops will force, checks the force of impressions, curbs the impulse of speech, and gives peace of mind. You can get the power of endurance. You will not tell lies. You will have control over speech. Silence is a great help in the observance of truth and control of anger. Emotions are controlled, and irritability vanishes. When one is ailing, observance of silence will give great peace of mind. He who observes silence possesses a peace, a strength, a happiness unknown to worldly people. He has abundant energy. He is ever serene and calm. In silence there is strength, wisdom, peace, poise, joy, bliss. In silence there is freedom, perfection, and independence. Busy people, people of the world, should observe silence for at least 1 hour daily, and if you can do 2 hours daily, it is all the better. On Sundays, observe silence for 6 hours or for the whole day. People will not disturb you at that time if you ask them to be silent or say that you want to have a silence. They will come to know that you observe silence at such and such hours. Your friends will not worry you. Your family members also will not trouble you. Utilize the period of silence in japa and meditation. If the place is not suitable for silence, go to a solitary place where your friends will not visit you. If you wish to observe silence, if you really wish to follow these instructions, you should keep yourself perfectly occupied in japa, meditation, and mantra writing. You should not mix with others. You should not come out of your room frequently. The energy of speech should be sublimated into spiritual energy and utilized for meditation. Then only you will enjoy serenity, calmness, peace, and inner spiritual strength. During the period of silence, you should not read newspapers. Reading newspapers will bring in worldly impressions and will disturb your peace of mind. You will not be benefited much by observing silence. Your meditation will be seriously disturbed. You should not write. You should not laugh. These are all breaks in silence. These are all worse than talking. They cause you to think. You must be silent. You must shave your mind. Reduce your wants. You should not frequently make changes in diet and think always of the different items of diet. You should yourself attend to the cleaning of your room and other ordinary daily duties. Do not bother much about your polishing shoes and washing linen. All these will interfere with the continuity of divine thoughts. Do not think much of the body at all. Rise above body consciousness. Think more of God and less of the things of the physical body. When you take a vow of silence, let yourself from within very often. I won't talk. This will produce a little heat in the brain, because the mind wants to revenge on you. Simply, once, make a determination and then remain quiet. Do not be thinking always, I won't talk, I won't talk. In the beginning, when you observe silence, you will find some difficulty. There will be severe attacks of past impressions springing up in your mind. Various kinds of thoughts will arise and force you to break the silence. These are all vain imaginations and deceptions of the mind. Be bold, concentrate all energies on God. Make the mind fully occupied. The desire for talk and company will die. You will get peace. The practice of silence should be gradual. You will not be able to observe silence all of a sudden for 10 or 15 days on end. Those who are in the habit of observing silence daily for 2 or 3 hours or 24 hours on holidays or Sundays, will be able to observe silence for a week or 15 days. You should clearly understand the value of silence. I think you do now, don't you, chillers? Observe silence for 2 hours daily. Gradually increase it to 6 hours, 24 hours, 2 days, 1 week, and so on. You should feel that you derive much benefit from observing silence and experience much peace, inner strength, and joy. Then only you will take pleasure in observing silence. Then only you will not attempt to speak even a word. Try to become a man of measured words. Strictly avoid long talk, big talk, tall talk, all unnecessary talk, all sorts of vain debates and discussions. Withdraw yourself from society as much as possible. This itself is silence. To talk profusely for 6 months and then observe silence for 6 months is of no avail at all. Watch every word. This is the greatest discipline. Words are great forces. Use them carefully. Control your speech. Do not allow the tongue to run riot. Speak little. Learn to be silent. Purify the mind and meditate. Be still and know that you are God. Calm the mind. Silence the bubbling thoughts and surging emotions. Plunge deep into the innermost recess of your heart and enjoy magnanimous silence. Mysterious is that silence. Enter into silence. Know that silence. Become silence itself. Become a Mahatmani. Realize God now and here. Be still and know that you are God. Become a Mahatmani. Realize God now and here. Be still and know that you are God. Become a Mahatmani. Realize God here and now.